Happy Easter to everyone. We are spending Easter a little bit different this year. We are supposed to be quarantining and keeping a safe distance from one another, practicing social distancing. That's the name that they have come up with, social distancing. It seems that nobody really gets, well, I won't say nobody, a lot of people do, but there are a select few that do not get that it's a pandemic. People are dying, and this is very serious. Here in Detroit, my city, of course, on yesterday, which was Saturday, a 31-year-old man was shot in the 15700 block of Princeton Street in Detroit. They're saying, well, the police are saying a man approached the victim while he was walking down his driveway at 9:47 in the evening, p.m., and the man allegedly said something to the victim and then fired shots, striking him. The victim was transported to the hospital and listed in stable condition. So the good part about this is that this man is not dead. The bad part about it is a lot of our people are on Facebook and different platforms screaming about this virus killing a lot of our people. And I think at some point, in as much as I believe in the conspiracies, some of them that make sense, but I also believe in being logical. And first of all, this was not essential to kill anyone during this time. It's not an essential, period, but definitely not during this time. I'm not understanding what we're doing. You could have been at home. You wasn't out shopping for groceries. You weren't getting dog food. You weren't doing anything productive. You were taking life on top of all the lives that are leaving the planet. And so we don't wish death on anyone, but we cannot sympathize for those who refuse to do what they're supposed to do. We cannot, because we all have decisions and choices to make. And it seems that there are a select few that they are hell-bent on not making the best decisions. This wasn't a good decision. And it's just amazing to me how we are buckling at the knees, some of us, about this virus. And that's not to diminish its severity, but it's just to be clear that we're sitting up buckling at the knees about this virus. But were we buckling at the knees of AIDS? Are we buckling at the knees of stress? Are we buckling at the knees of self-destruction? Are we buckling at the knees of ignorance? So I think at this point, getting outraged, I think false outrage is really useless at this point. It has served us no purpose. However, we continue to do so. And I like to talk about these stories to give information, but I also like to talk about them to give perspective, not to nightmare people to death, but to give perspective. At the end of the day, we are the gatekeeper of ourselves. And we don't even see the severity. People are not getting it. You can see that by this person killing someone. Now, on the flip side of that, if something happened where, I don't know, maybe there's a family that's living under the same roof, or somebody was visiting because he walked up on them in the driveway. So they might not be under the same roof. I don't know. I'm not saying you can't walk up on somebody's driveway, up on the driveway on someone else if you don't live there. But I'm just saying, okay, the person might not live there. But let's say it was something that happened which shouldn't have happened, especially if it was outside of the home, because we shouldn't be falling through people's houses anyway. And somebody's child was hurt or sexually violated or something like that. Then we might see why. We might kind of be able to fathom why a person would go up and take a life at this time. But we don't know the facts. So because we don't know the facts, and at this point it was probably frivolous, this shouldn't be happening. So I don't think we all need a eureka moment at sometimes. And the eureka moment is relative. It's not always about valuing life. It could be about whatever. This should be our eureka moment about life. Really taking the time to reflect. But with some people, I don't care what happens. Mayhem could literally be on their doorstep, and they're still going to act a damn fool. And is a fact. That is a fact. Some people do not take heed to things, warnings around them. They persist on being on the path of self-destruction and deaf, dumb, and stupid. And having handshakes with ignorance is really what it boils down to. So it's very unfortunate that this happened to someone, to this man. Thank God that he's still alive. But these are people, what if he didn't make it? See, and this is somebody's family member. And that's what we don't think about when we commit these acts. But when you take somebody's life and you do stuff that you have no business, outside of self-defense, remember, these things come back at you. They knock on your door. You know, it's just you law of attraction, consequences, cause and effect. You're attracting ignorant shit because you're doing ignorant shit. So that's kind of what you get. So know that these kind of actions do not go without consequences. And who's to even say that they won't be 10 times worse than the pain that you just dished? So something to think about. I hope you guys are staying safe and keeping your face covered as much as possible. And we're going to get through this for sure. This is just something that's happening now, but it won't last forever. Nothing comes. You know why? Here's what you can hang your hat on. Name anything that you know lasts forever. Even the marriages that people say married forever, right? Or what you would consider forever. It's not forever because they both die at some point. So nothing lasts forever. I don't care what it is. So with that, we know this will pass too. Like everything else. Everything else has an expiration date, a time to die. So, all right. Thank you guys for listening. Check you later.